We live in a strange world, a place where life takes turns you could never anticipate, leading you down paths you never planned to walk. Growing up, I was the definition of alone. No brothers, no sisters, just me in an empty house. The few cousins I had around my age were always wrapped up in their own big families, leaving me on the outside looking in. When my parents finally had a daughter, the age gap was so massive that she felt more like my own child than a sibling. Right then, as a lonely kid staring at a silent house, I made a silent vow to myself. When I grow up and get married, I am going to have a house full of children. A massive family. A noisy, chaotic crowd of my own so no one would ever feel the loneliness I felt. But life had other plans early on. My father fell severely ill when I was just a young man. Suddenly, the weight of the entire world fell onto my shoulders. I became the provider, the protector, the one responsible for my mother, my father, and my little sister. It was a heavy, crushing burden for someone so young, but my parents were incredible souls who deserved every single sacrifice. My father passed away early, and the responsibility only grew until the day I finally got married. That was the moment I thought I could finally fulfill my childhood vow. I wanted that big family, that unbreakable shield of an army behind me. My wife gave birth to a daughter and then a son, boy and a girl. To most people that is the perfect pair. To me it was a psychological trap. It was the exact small, vulnerable number I desperately wanted to break. I wanted 3, 4, maybe more. Then came the day my wife told me she was pregnant with our third child. My joy was indescribable. Felt like my very first baby all over again. When the ultrasound revealed it was another boy, I stood there looking at the screen, thinking to myself, this is it. Finally did it. I built my army. I built my shield against the world. I had absolutely no idea what was actually waiting for me. Because I worked away from home, I couldn't be there for the birth. I was tracking everything through phone calls, hovering on a cloud of pure, unadulterated happiness. 4 days after he was born, I called my wife. The moment she answered, the air left my lungs. Her voice carried a heavy, profound sadness I had never heard before. I pressed her, begging her to tell me what was wrong, until she finally whispered the words that struck my heart like a lightning bolt. Our third son was diagnosed with Down syndrome. Felt like a physical crash. It wasn't an objection to destiny, but a brutal, psychological shock. What I thought was going to be the relief of a burden, the creation of a support system for my old age, had suddenly become a brand new, lifelong responsibility. I remember looking up at the sky, tears streaming down my face, whispering, "My Lord, I swear I am content with what you gave me, but I beg you for the strength to carry it. Please let me love him just as much as I love my other children." The days that followed were incredibly difficult. His immunity was weak, and every minor illness felt like a major battle. But with patience, time kept moving. And as time moved, something miraculous happened. My boy grew. He didn't just grow. He became the absolute closest soul to my heart. I spent my whole life trying to escape being the sole caretaker, only to realize that my destiny is to protect and care for someone forever. And you know what? It is the most beautiful thing that ever happened to me. We try so hard to force our lives into rigid boxes, making perfect plans for the future, completely blind to the fact that the universe has a far better blueprint. This boy, the one I thought would need me forever, might actually be the only one who stays by our side when my wife and I grow old and frail. He might be worth more than 10 ordinary sons combined. Before he arrived, I thought I knew what love and compassion felt like. But after he was born, it felt as though an endless ocean of pure tenderness was poured directly into my chest, changing the very fabric of who I am. We exhaust ourselves drawing maps for our lives, calculating every step, forgetting that the most beautiful destinations are the ones we never plan to visit. Some burdens are not meant to crush your shoulders. They are meant to expand your heart.